The electricity companies here in Maine just did something that, to be blunt, should really tick you off. They raised rates at an incredible percentage. The last several years have been roughly around 23% average over the last 3, 4 years. Last year was 36%, last year being 2025. And they actually tried to raise rates again on top of that. And that 36% rate increase was the highest in the entire nation last year. So for 2025, Maine gets the grand prize of screwing over their residents more than any other state in the nation with regard to electricity rates. So I know I'm speaking pretty strongly on this, but honestly, I think as a Mainer, this ought to tick you off. I mean, I'm originally from Maine. I'm proud to be a Mainer. I grew up in Millinocket. I'm related to about half of Medway. And, one of the things that I was always brought up with is that as Mainers, we're supposed to help each other out. We're supposed to be good to each other and to treat each other fairly. And, what they say about Mainers is that if you are broken down on the side of the road, you don't have to wait more than 5 minutes. Like, somebody's going to stop and help you. And to me, that's Maine. To me, that is what Maine should be about. But what is happening right now with electricity rates is not helping you out. In my opinion, it's completely against everything that we believe in as Mainers. And it's not a good situation. So I'm going to walk you through this real quick. And then after that, I encourage you to watch the following video where you will learn everything that you need to know about solar power. Just Google it. I mean, all I'm doing right now is just showing you my computer screen. So you can see my URL right up here. And if you simply just type into Google the rankings of highest electricity rates by state for last year, which was 2025, of course, you're going to see Hawaii, no surprise there, California. But then number 3, we see Maine. Which, what the heck is going on with that? And Maine just so happened to have the highest year-over-year rate increase, which, if you measure from January 1st to December 31st, that was a total of 36% electricity rates were increased in our state inside of 1 year. And that was over 3 separate rate increases, totaling 36% in total. They tried to do it again. They tried to add another rate increase before the close of the year, and it was shot down by the Maine state government. But so far, we're into 2026. They already got another rate increase in. So this is just what we're dealing with in Maine right now. I mean, look, this Axios article, and Maine stands alone at 36.3% rate increase inside of 1 year. And look at some, what we would consider to be the more expensive states, maybe New York, right? They only did 13%, and 13% is not good, but it's far lower than 36. That's just obscene. California only raised rates by 1.9%. Florida, 10%. So how is it that California, with as expensive as it is in California, to raise rates by 1.9%, and Maine is raising rates by 36.3%? And this is on top of several rate increases. I mean, it's not like they didn't raise rates last year or the year before or the year before that. We're looking at average rate increases over the last 5 years in the ballpark of like 23 to 25%. And never let a snowstorm or a pandemic or any, emergency go to waste, because that can be used as an excuse to increase rates as well. And, so this kind of breaks down, what happened with CMP, Versant, several rate increases. But what you need to understand is that there's also a new project in the works. So it is a 5-year project specifically for increasing the grid's capacity because now there are these gigantic data centers for AI. So there's now a 5-year project that could increase rates by 165% by 2030. 165% in over the next roughly 4.5 years, and that's just with dealing with the added demand on electricity because of artificial intelligence. So, I mean, just basic articles you can find right online. So here's that 5-year plan, CMP. This 5-year plan, it would require eye-popping rate hike. I mean, let's not mix words here. So CMP raising $420, and that was September of last year. It's gone up since then. That 36.3%, by the way, is 5 times the national average. Like there's no natural phenomenon that can explain this. I mean, people can make excuses and say it's because of gas price. Yeah, gas went up. Sure. Okay. Like I get it. But these numbers are just too insane to think that they're based off from anything legitimate. And the only reason that I'm presenting it to you in this way is because I just want you to understand that it's not like you're going to get a break with your electricity costs. Like they're going to keep pushing it, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And like I said, over the last couple of years, like for instance, 2023 was a 28.5% rate increase. 2024 was a gigantic rate increase. 2022 was a gigantic rate increase. That's why we're 3rd in the nation right now. It's just horrible. And people are actually protesting. So this is another article. And people actually went out and protested against it because it has obviously a pretty dramatic effect on people's quality of life. I mean, imagine if you happen to be a senior citizen, if you're on a fixed income, if you're raising kids and you got a little baby and you're trying to make ends meet, and you can barely afford the bill you already get, and then they raise it by 36%, and then they raise it some more, and so. Anyway, this is what's going on. You don't have to take my word for it. I mean, you can look it up for yourself. It's just all right here. These are just all straight facts. So really what I'm telling you guys is that just find a way to protect yourself. Solar is a solution that will protect you against these rate increases. If you had solar, you would have been immune to this 36% rate increase. And God knows what they're going to be doing next year. So I mean, don't get, fear of missing out. Don't get too much FOMO, like, oh geez, I should have done it last year, so I shouldn't do it now. No, I mean, start saving money now. Believe me, like next year you're going to be really happy that you did. And definitely 5 years from now, when there's massive inflation because of gas prices and there's AI everywhere and huge demand on the electricity grid, you're going to be pretty happy that you're producing your own electricity and you have a monthly solar bill that'll never, ever go up for the next 30 years because you're producing your own electric. So anyway, price protection. Listen, just protect yourself. As a fellow Mainer, just protect yourself, please.